Good morning, good day, good evening, depends on where you're watching this, when you're watching it. I welcome Tara from TSW Life Coaching. We're here to do our morning chat just to see what comes out and what happens. We're today, I think our topic is going to start at, that's how I feel.
To
It's
say, let it
gonna,
flow. Let it flow.
yeah. Um, Listening to our own guidance, listening to our own internal guidance, and really being in a space where we can, uh, be in tune with our own intuition, be in tune with what is right for us rather than seeking answers outside of ourselves.
Mhm. Um, to me, that just really comes back to being your own authority, and it's it's okay to get input from people outside, but oh, I lost you there for a minute.
Oh,
Um, but people, I think, and I believe, because I just wrote about like our intuition and everything in our book, in my new book that's coming out, collaboration book, I should say it like that. But I think it's our conditioning from like day one. We are taught to go outside of ourselves for our authority. Like as kids, it's always, going to our parents, going to this. And then as children, it's going to the teacher. Like we can't even go to the bathroom by ourselves. We have to ask permission. And so our culture conditions us to always go outside of ourselves. And so I think that's why so many people struggle with going inward, because we are taught from day one to go outside of ourselves.
yeah. And now that you said that, like I think about how many times as children that we ask a question and we're seeking something, but when as an adult we turn around and say, I don't know, how do you feel? Or what do you think? Rather than just giving an answer. Um, that doesn't often happen that I can remember growing up anyway. It was always provided for us, right? It's a yes or no, or rather than going inward and really feeling and knowing um, what we require, what we seek, what we want to know.
Yep. And I think, like, even as children, we were always questioned on that. And I think that's why we question ourselves too. Because, like, if you remember, I'm sure it happened not just to me, but like you go and say, I'm hungry. Are you sure? Like it teaches us to always question ourselves, and then that easily leads to, well, I better ask somebody else. Am I sure? I don't know. And then we turn to, as adults, we turn to nutritionists, or we turn to someone else to give us that answer because we're not sure,
Yeah.
or because we
Yeah.
don't trust ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Or we look for that answer just so we don't have to feel and know for ourselves and we step into something that isn't in our true guidance rather than, going inward and saying, is this for my highest good? And stepping forward that way. We're seeking it all the time.
You just threw in a different one there. I was going to talk about, because I think a lot of people don't want to be accountable. It's easier if someone else tells me to do it, because then I can go, well, so and so told me to do it, so they don't have to be accountable, because you're accountable for your decisions when you make them. So if you're like, I'm going to quit my job, then that's accountability to me. But if I ask you and you say, well, I wouldn't do that, that's not very smart, then it's your fault that I'm staying where I am.
Yeah.
Um, but the other part of that is the highest good thing too, which is the same but not the same. Is I think a lot of people, even on their spiritual path, say like the highest good, but they have an expectation of what the highest good is. And so it's like, well, I did it for my highest good and everything fell apart. But it's like, did you do it for your highest good, or did you do it for your highest good with expectations of what that looks like? Because sometimes our highest good doesn't feel nice. It's for our highest good overall and for our soul evolution, but it doesn't feel nice or it's challenging within. Um, and so we think it's gone wrong, but it hasn't really ever gone wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, and it brings you to one being in a space of living life with ease and grace rather than resentment because you did something or didn't do something. Or, you know, anytime we look outside of ourselves and ask it, what would you do? Yes, we're giving up our power. But if you take that in and it's not for your highest good because you are called to do and be somewhere else, you are taking your ease and grace away, your joy, all of the happiness that comes with that, possibly, right?
Yep.
Um, but if it's you, we have to be able to decipher, I guess where I'm going with this is decipher what resonates with us. Yes, if it resonates and it's for our highest good, yes, it might be hard. But if it resonates true to our core, to our soul, then we know that that's where the step we need to take.
Yep. And I think tying in that ease and grace, because that's because the expectations, because it's you're holding on to what it should look like, instead of just allowing it to be what it is.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. Hmm. Are we done?
No, I'm like letting you lead the next part.
No, no, you go.
Meal. Okay. Well, I'm not guided to do that. No, just kidding.
Uh, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
See?
No, I just find like I just did a video this morning that I posted on people really going to a lot of readers. Like, yes, I am grateful that I have people coming to me, and people say, "When can I come back?" Well, when you're guided to, not next month, because then you are finding someone to give you the answers possibly. Like when I do readings, it's more about what I'm seeing that, knowing that you should step forward into something, but why aren't you? There's something deeper there. It's about discovery, right? It's about discovering those aspects of your soul that need to be possibly looked at, healed, discovering more of your truth, whatever that is, right?
Hmm.
So I'm just finding that there's a lot of people that are seeking the answers, like you said, they looking for the answer all the time. But the onus is on the person that is stepping forward or not stepping forward, whatever your path is, right? Um, it should be on each one of us, the onus on each one of us moving forward in our own guidance, because if we can't know what's real for us, how do we ever know what's real to step into? Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yep. I think lots of times, I think people go to, like, we see this at markets all the time. They'll see numerous readers. And it's, for me, I feel it's like they have this expectation of what they want the answer to be. And then we tie back to that highest good. You're getting the answer, but it's not the answer that you want. And so you're going to lots of people to get someone to finally say what you want to hear.
That's
And
exactly it.
and I feel like this is my own opinion, so no insults to anybody, but if it's someone who's being true to their gift, then they're not going to give the answer that you expect, or they're not going to give the answer that you necessarily want. They're going to give what they're guided to. And so that may be what you want. It may be confirming what you've already felt inside. But most times I find, especially with the soul work that I do, is that they want it to be something because their ego's attached to it. And so they're going to everyone until they tell them what their ego wants them to hear. And they're not actually hearing what their soul is telling them, which they know deep down is the truth. Like something simple like, should I stay in this relationship or should I stay in this job? They want someone to tell them no, because that's what their soul's calling, or their ego wants to say, no, stay in the job, but their soul's calling them to do something else. And so all the readers who are telling them, follow your path and, whatever version of that's coming to them, but their ego's like, no, I don't want to leave. It's comfortable. And so they just keep searching till someone will listen to their ego, I guess.
Yep. Yep. It's just like I did a reading this past weekend where the person gave me some insight, which was fine. I don't mind that. But I was not seeing anything that was told to me. And this person just wanted me to confirm. And I said, well, I said, it's not up to me to give you that answer. Clearly, they're not giving me what you want to hear, or they're telling you to go inward, or you already know that answer and you need to sit with it or move forward and do what you need to do, right? But it's they were seeking something that I couldn't give them. And I won't say something that's not there for me to, right?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, for me, lots of times, because this is why I leave my sessions wide open and I always start it with like, what's going on for you.
Yeah.
But if they want a specific thing, that may not be what their soul is calling for in the healing. And it may be the end vision, but they have to unpack a whole bunch of other stuff or let go of the expectation or whatever it might be to be able to go that way or look at that. Like I often get relationship, and more often than not, I'm guided to say, well, all of our relationships are a reflection of ourselves, our
Yep.
relationship with ourselves. And it's like, you maybe don't want to hear that, but sorry, not sorry, but that's what your soul's calling for.
Yep.
And so the work we do is not about the relationship at all, but maybe it's like doing some inner child work. Maybe it's about healing abandonment or, trusting yourself or whatever the soul's calling for, but it's not the answer that they want. They want me to say, no, you should leave that person, or yes, you should stay with that person. And I'm like, it's always a reflection of your relationship with
Yep.
yourself. So,
As within, so without. 100%.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and often for me with relationships, I don't get a lot of relationship readings. It's not really what, I don't know. It's just relationships for me is hard because I can see one thing and then tomorrow, the next day, the other person in the relationship has changed. So none of this makes even isn't
Mm-hmm.
even, whatever, right? But with a relationship, it's like if you are feeling like there's not enough passion in your relationship, where are you not finding passion within yourself, right? Everything is, like you said, it's a mirror, it's a reflection. And that's where I always go to as well, because it's something that we're needing to go deeper into, you know, yeah, I can say if someone's coming into your life, sure. But yeah, someone could be coming in, but it's up to you to use your own, again, right? Going inward. Is this the right person for me? Right? Yeah, I can see someone is going to stay in your life, but which person is it? I don't always get that.
Yeah.
But it's up to each one of us to decipher what is resonating and what is serving us in who we are.
Well, and I think that's so interesting too, because same thing when someone sits on my table and I say that, um, I'm like, you don't want to attract the person that you are like, you want to attract someone when you're ready for them because you don't want the unhealed version of you to attract that same person in a different body. That's why I always say,
Yep.
same person, different body. Because if you haven't gone within and done maybe like abandonment or rejection or whatever's kind of being brought up, then you're going to keep attracting that in your outer world. And so for me, you, I feel, this is my own feeling, that you should work on yourself first because you want to attract somebody who's attracted to the authentic version of you, not the wounded version of you.
That's right. Yep.
Because then you're going to keep repeating the same stuff.
Yeah, exactly. As well as the right person may come along, and then because you have, say abandonment, like you mentioned, you are going to start self-sabotaging everything because you need to go into that inner work of doing that discovery, and that person will just be gone. They'll come
Yeah,
back if it's meant to be, but
exactly.
yeah. So,
And I mean, I know there's controversy around saying you can't receive love if you can't love yourself first. But I can honestly say, like looking at my relationship with my husband, um, I can see now how much he loved me. But when I was in it, because I wasn't in a self loving place, I couldn't see that. So it wasn't about that he wasn't loving, or I mean, that's what I thought in that time. Or I thought, like he was just, it was convenience or whatever stories I told myself. But I can see now when I look back how loving he was. But I couldn't see that then because I didn't open myself up to that. And I mean, it makes sense because I was in a not loving myself place that I would, like, you'd say, I love you. And you're like, yeah, that's because I did the dishes, or, like that kind of thing. Instead of actually going, no, he feels that, because I couldn't open myself up to that because I had my own stuff, my own wounds. And so it's not about the other person really at all in relationships. It's about they could be showing up. And on the flip side of that, I often tell people too who come and say, I want to leave my husband or I want to leave my boyfriend because he's abusive. And I say, you know, within first. And then everything can shift because their energy can shift. It shifts everything as within, so without. So it'll shift everything outside of them too. And so who knows? Maybe in 6 months, if you've done the work or whatever, it'll completely shift, or they'll just vibrate right out of your energy.
yeah, very much. Very much so. That's so, so true. And that's why, you can be in a relationship and grow apart, or you can be in a relationship and you can grow together because
Sorry.
um you're changing, you're growing, you're healing, you're moving in aspects that self-discovery. And then you're not looking outside of yourself to know what to do, how to treat people if that's the case or whatever, right?
Or to find love, or yeah, or
Exactly, exactly.
to show you that you're worthy, or
Yeah,
any of that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or what's coming in is giving and receiving. A lot of times we go into a relationship and we give, 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 and then all of a sudden it's like, holy moly, like, whoa, what's going on here? Why don't I ever feel like I get what I need? But that's something within us too, right? Why are we not receiving? And that's a deeper soul. That might be for another day. I don't know.
But that, I mean, that's a great, and I think that's really common of empaths too, is we part of opening your heart is opening your heart to others, but it's opening your heart to receive that. And that's kind of like what I was talking about. So I know, looking back, how much my husband loved me, but I couldn't receive that because I couldn't see that. And so I wasn't open to receiving that because there was so much lack of love within me that I couldn't receive. And so a lot of people are, like, I want to receive, or why aren't they paying attention to me? Um, they probably are, but you can't see that or you can't feel that because you are not paying attention to yourself. And so it's like the blinders are kind of on, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yep. Very much. And myself, well, we're both empaths, but um, I didn't realize that that was part of being an empath either. Like for the longest time is receiving. Um, it took my husband now um to tell me, you know what? Why are you not allowing people to give to you? Why, like, what is within you that you don't allow yourself to receive?
Hmm.
Because you do things out of the goodness of your heart, you don't do it to receive. So then you won't receive if someone wants to repay you in some way. Because I don't do it to receive. But then there's a space that says, you know what? Yeah, why not? They just want to make you feel good too. So it took me a long time to discover that and to actually receive.
Hmm.
And then it
And
comes in all forms, right?
oh, absolutely. And if you want to tie that into something else, is we talk about manifestation and we talk about creating and we ask the universe for things, but we don't open to receive it. Like, have you ever heard that joke about um the guy on the roof?
No.
Uh, should I tell it?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it really quick and not that much justice. I don't know if it's really a joke, but a guy's on a roof and he asks the universe to save him. And the house is flooding and it's gone up through the basement and he's on the roof and he's like, save me, save me. So then someone in a boat comes by and he's like, oh no, the universe is going to save me. And then someone in, I don't know, whatever, another person comes by and they're like, oh, jump on. No, no, the universe is going to save me. And it just keeps going on until he dies and then goes up there and says, universe, why didn't you save me? And it's like, I sent you this and this and this and this and this and you refused it. And so you have to be open to receive in manifestation and things like that. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle because they're like, I want this, um, but they're not open to receive that. Or they're looking for it again. They have an ego expectation of how that looks.
Yeah.
So, like abundance. Go
Yeah.
ahead, because
I know that's exactly what that was exactly what was coming. It has, you have this expectation, it needs to look a certain way. I take myself, and I've said this story many times, doing readings. I'm a coach, right? I do the healing from a soul level and discover what needs to discover within you, all of that. But I never ever thought it would be through my cards because
mm,
it never came to me until one day I was reading and I'm like, wait a minute. Because I was like, I'm not coaching enough. I'm not. And then because I was on the road all the time and it wasn't how I thought it should look. And
yeah.
then one day I was like, holy moly, this is what I'm doing. I am empowering people through my readings.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
and it was just like, wait a minute, like it didn't look how I thought it should look. And that's okay because now I'm still doing what I'm doing, right?
Hmm.
So it we have, like you said, we have this expectation of what it needs. Save me, right?
Yep.
It's yeah. So
It's there was something else that just came up with that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You do through like your card readings and stuff. And then it's up to them to do the inner work because again, no one can do that for you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like you, people come to you but before they can get that surface level manifesting, I'll call it, you point out, well, this your soul is requiring this. This is the first step. Now you can take the step into where you want to go in the future.
Yes.
And it's like you have to build the basement first before you can build like you have to build a foundation before you can build the the mansion.
Completely. And it's funny because um lots of times there's soul lessons too. And I find the more I come along, my attachment to what it looks like dwindles. Like I yeah, it's like if I ask for abundance now, it's like abundance in all forms and whatever is meant to be. Because maybe I'm not supposed to be a millionaire in this life. Maybe that's my soul contract.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my soul lesson. And that's okay with me. I'm not attached to that now. the other part of that is if that's what you're trying to manifest in your, I want to be a millionaire. What do you really want? Like, what's that underneath that? What is actually, what are you calling for really?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
anyone, and you hear that all the time about people who win the lottery and then they're broke like a year or two down the road and they've won, 10 million or something. It's because that's not really what you wanted. You wanted something else and you thought money could buy that for you. And so we so easily attach to those things and those expectations. But we have to be open, like you said, to receive and ready to receive and in a space to receive that, or we miss it.
100%, 100%. Or it gets to us and we don't even realize that the boat is there to take us to safety.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, the universe is working through somebody else. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's why I
exactly.
love that.
Yeah.
I didn't do it very much justice, but I think they sent a helicopter and like
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
But you get the point of it. But yeah, I love that so much, and it just goes to show that when you have those blinders on, how much you miss. And so I think that's part of your spiritual growth is being able to take those blinders off and see all of it because abundance can come in your friend taking you for supper or whatever, when you have little money to go buy groceries, or you didn't get grocery shopping, and it comes in a whole bunch of forms that you don't think of because you think, well, my bank account's not showing me abundance. Yeah, but look at, you got the free car wash and the free parking and the this and this and this that saved you all the money. So it is showing up, but you just have the blinders on, so you don't see it. So you're not
Yeah.
grateful because you're hyper focused on, well, I want my bank account to be this, and it's not that. And so then you go into that lack state
Yeah.
right away, too.
Yeah. It's just like going to the store and getting 50% off something. Say if you're buying something for $100, you got 50% off. When was the last time I notice this now? But I'll say, oh, thank you for the extra $50. Now I can pay my phone bill or whatever, right? And it's just something that I have really put into practice in my life. Um, Sometimes it's change, right? Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's big, sometimes it's whatever. Um, what was coming up to this, I think this for a topic for another day, is affirmations. I'd love to have a chat about affirmations and how I've changed my thought on affirmations a lot lately in how, like, I am abundant. Okay, what are you abundant in life trials? Are you abundant in abusive relationships? Are you abundant in wealth, money wealth? Are you abundant in friendships? Are you like, right? So the universe will bring you what you're saying, right? It's like, oh, I am rich, I am wealthy. Yes, okay. But be specific in what, because if you feel like you're rich and wealthy and you only have $25 in your bank account, then that's maybe all you will receive.
Mm.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. And I think it's kind of the same thing. It's like putting that blinder on how it
Yeah.
should look. And it's there's something else that kind of came with that too, but I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Um, but affirmations are interesting, uh, because my experience, and this is not going to be the popular one, is if you haven't done the inner work or you're not willing to do the inner work, it just feels like you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
And there is, I believe in affirmations 100%, but you also have to be willing to, and you also have to be willing to do the work to get, like you said, with, if you're not open to receiving and you're closed off to that because of whatever, like worthiness stuff or not enough or anything like that, then you can say as many times as you want to, I am abundant, but your under core programming is, I don't deserve this. I'm not good enough. Like I can't have that. And so you have to be willing to unload those before you can truly use the affirmations. Yes, they will start like unpacking, but more like, okay, this is the analogy that just came to me, because I always say when the soul work is like uncovering who we truly are, and it's like a pile of dirty clothes on top of the diamond that you are.
Yep.
And so when you say the affirmations and you don't really believe it, it's more like pulling the threads off of them rather than pulling like full on clothes off. That's what just came to me.
That's good. I like that. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I struggle with affirmations because there's so many people who are like, well, I'm just going to say affirmations and then it'll work. Not if you're not willing to do the work. Because, again, if you're not open to receiving, then how is the universe supposed to give you what you're asking for if you're not open to it?
Yeah. And I will often say, yes, I'm abundant. But what's the, again, like what's underlying in that? Who do I need to be to discover, to heal, to seek whatever that might be within you to be abundant, to really get to where that end goal is, if you want to call it a goal, right? Because yeah, it's like an entrepreneur. Oh, the clients are going to come. The clients are going to come. I just feel it. I know it. Okay, but what do you need to do to have that happen? Right? It's not like the silver platter is gonna just show up.
Yeah.
Well, hasn't for me.
And it can, but it can show up, like we said, in different ways.
Yeah,
And it also, then we throw in divine timing too, because that is, the universe is working on all of us. So your clients are maybe just not ready, or um, like I just had the conversation, as I do oftentimes with the universe. Why is it not showing up the way I want it to? Or why is it not showing up the way that I know it's going to? And I do know it because I've seen it, and I've been told it 1,000 times. And then it's like, I'm not, my body isn't ready at this point. Like my nervous system isn't ready to handle all of that. And then it's like, oh, okay. So it's divine timing things too. So I could sit here and beat myself up and go, oh my God, I need to do all the things. But that's just causing my nervous system to be more overloaded. And so I'm not, you know, and that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
anyway,
A
it,
lot of self-discovery. It's just like I use this analogy a lot. It's like you have you're opening a store. Okay? You get the keys, you sign the papers, the lawyer's giving you the key or whatever, the realtor or whatever. And do you just walk in and open your door and say, put on an open sign? No, you have to do some self-discovery, meaning you have to know how to, you have to get a bookkeeper, you have to get, paint the walls, you have to discover, find staff, you have to buy shelving, paint the walls, all of the things. That is part of what we need to discover in order to really open the doors to find that success and abundance. You
mhm.
can't just open the door and expect the abundance to walk in.
I have to figure out what you're selling.
Sure. Well, I hope if you're buying a store, you know what that is.
But it's like, I mean, that's the other thing. Why I said it that way is because I think a lot of people feel that because I often get like, I need clarity on my purpose or whatever. And we're going looping back to you are your own authority. Unfortunately, a lot of us don't get the full picture of what we are opening up to. It's for us to discover one step at a time, and it'll reveal itself.
Yep,
And so I don't know of anybody who has ever gotten the full, like, here's your life blueprint going, you're going to be this, but you need to take this step and this step and this step, and have the whole picture in place, because it's step by step by step and you're building it,
that's right.
co-creating it, I guess.
That's right. But social media has shown people that, or has made people feel that it's just been that,
Mm-hmm.
right? I tell you, I didn't get here by just showing up. And it's been a lot of, well, you too. It's been a lot of hard work. It's been like a lot, but I have now discovered in the last few years that I really am without, how do you do the self-discovery without slowing down and being more in flow of allowing the things to come across your path to either teach you something, or I don't like that word teach, but um to come on your path to see how resilient you are, and that you're not stepping back into that old story, or all the self-discovery, the healing, the all of the things. You can go on, but
Mm-hmm.
um the more flow, the more we are in tune, the more we can allow our feminine side to be intuitive and know where we're supposed to go, even if it doesn't look like it we thought it would.
Yeah. And then I think that is like that ties into that receiving part again too. Because part of being in flow is being able to just receive what the universe is providing. And um you said you didn't like the word teach. What came to me is expanding, because that's what it's all
Yeah.
about. Because if you really come down to it, our only purpose is for our soul expansion in this life and all lives. And so it's not about um, what we have to acquire, what we have to learn. It's just allowing our soul to expand. And allowing is a big word there.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. I truly feel that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's probably enough for
That was
today.
a lot.
It was.
It went all over the place too.
Yeah, it did. That's okay. That's what I said. We're going to start on this.
You knew
Yeah,
you
I did.
predicted that.
Well, it always does go everywhere.
Yeah. Because everything's so intertwined. You can't possibly talk about one without hitting something else at least.
Well, we just show up because we don't have that expectation of what it's supposed to look like. We don't have the script. And, I'm not a script person.
No.
I used to be, I got to talk about this and this and have the agenda. I just need the topic and I go. And I think that's why we can have these conversations so easily, is because you just kind of flow with each other. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It definitely is the flow, and there was something else that kind of came in. I couldn't even imagine us trying to do scripts. It would be like that feels like a nightmare to me right now.
Yeah. I'm like a squirrel though. Whoop.
I know. But that's being in flow too. Like that's allowing you to flow with what's going. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. And I'll have all of Tara's stuff in down below in the description so you can contact her for anything. She is an amazing person at getting deep to the soul and doing some healing. And I find that she does a very quick healing in some cases, that it's like, I get it now, right? It's really taps in, and really knowing that your soul is ready for that. So yeah, that's where you can find her, and everyone knows where they can find me, I think.
And we also work together, the
Yes, we
two
do.
of us, two very gifted empaths working together, and they're quite fun. So the soul revival is always fun to do.
Yeah. We just did a group soul revival that had quite a few people in it, and it was very empowering, very powerful in the people that were in the room. So it was really it was awesome.
It
So
was.
yeah.
It's
So you
always
can
fun when we get
contact,
together.
yeah. Anytime you want to do a group thing like that, just contact us and we can make it happen. So thank you
All
and have
right.
a good one.
Yeah, have a good one. Happy Monday.
Yep. Much love.